Welcome back to Uncover Your Magic. As we come to the end of 2021, I can say this year has been my most transformational year yet. I thought 2020 was, but 2021 took the prize. When I began this podcast journey back in 2020, I had no idea where it was going to lead me. But like I always say, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. We are all on our own journey of self discovery. Let me ask you something. Do you take the time to reflect on your life on a daily basis? I think it's so important to check in on your own growth and take a step back and evaluate your life. My relationship with myself is the most important and what I have learned to be the guiding light in every other area of my life. To know that there is a love and to bring love into every situation and every relationship every single time is something I look at now as crucial to living a truly empowering and fulfilling life. When you can see life through the eyes of pure love, then I believe we can be living in heaven on earth. Transforming others to view life in love and a knowing that everything is always perfect and working for our highest good is my passion. I have had the privilege to work with countless teens and parents these past 2 years. While uncovering their magic, I realized my purpose and passion and my magic. I've opened up these kids' eyes to a new reality where they understand they can be, do, or have anything. When they create vision boards and put big dreams on them, they get excited and realize their potential and how truly powerful they are. My next discovery was when I started coaching the teens and their parents side by side, and the power in that was amazing. The importance of teaching teens all of my mindset tools so they can create a life on purpose is one thing. But when the parents are on the same page and understand the tools, their life takes on an even higher level, and the vibration and energy between the parent and child is incredible and life-changing. I love it when I get a call from a parent when they are struggling with their morning routine like I did this morning. She is taking the course with her daughter, who is 12, and has always struggled with making their mornings positive and on a high vibration. Today, she fell back and needed some help. I love watching parents realize how important their mornings are. And when they learn my routine and the importance of gratitude and setting an intention for the day, they have a hard time reverting to their old habits. But we are all human and we all have that possibility. But the cool thing about being in this course together is you have an accountability partner and can keep each other in check. It lights me up to watch. I also love when I get a call from a parent who is worried about their young teen who is struggling with friends and being bullied and feeling depressed. When I'm able to empower both the parent and the child with my tools, their life turns around in almost no time at all. Kids just need to have tools to fall back on and the confidence of knowing how powerful they truly are. My mission for this next year of 2022 is to keep changing lives and changing the energy in homes so we can all be filled with love and spread love so this earth we all live on can be energized to the highest vibration. We are all energy, and even just one shift of one person's energy to a higher octave changes the planet. My wish for each of you is to reach for your highest vibration and be aware when it dips. Pretty soon, those dips will be small and it will be like a muscle staying on the top versus heading down the mountain. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about my courses. You can always check out my website, ashleygoner.com. It has everything on there and a link to sign up for the waiting list for my next Raising Confidence course for teens and the Magic Path for parents and adults. Thank you for always listening to me every week. It means so much to me. When you reach out on social media and tell me you loved an episode and why. I also want to thank you all for subscribing and reviewing my podcast. It has opened bigger doors for guests, and I am so very grateful for your kind words and 5-star reviews. So now on to our interview today with Maddie Sparkles. Cute name. Maddie is an intuitive healer, transformational empowerment coach, inspirational poet, and a professional angel and oracle card reader. She combines all of these things to help people connect with their angels, release their fears, and step into their power so they can live a truly magical life by feeling divinely guided. I know you are going to love this episode. So, without further ado, please welcome Maddie Sparkles to the show. Hi, Maddie Sparkles. How are you? Thank you
I'm
for
fa-
being here.
I'm fantastic, Ashley. I'm so excited to meet you. This is wonderful.
Oh, thank you for coming. And, I've been on this angel journey. And I think I was telling you before we hit record, I could start telling you this, there's no coincidences.
Hmm.
Everything always is perfect and working in the same, all in this path that we're on in this life of this beautiful, magical journey that we're on, right? And I love that you talk about magic because I love
Yes.
magic. And I think
Yes.
every moment in life is magical. This moment right now is, I always talk about magic moments. And, uh, and I teach my kids in my classes, like always look for the magic. There's always
Hmm.
magic, right? But when there's been some deep diving right now, and I don't know if it's a shift in what we're going through as a, you know, on this planet of learning about angels and guides and archangels and, your guardian angel. So I've really been on this. I mean, I'm picking up feathers the other day, taking a picture, sending it to the kids, and I'm looking at all these different, the numbers on the clock are coming I have these text messages from all my people, and it's constant 1111. I get them all, it's nonstop. So we're on this, like, in this different feeling of energy where these angels are, they're always been there. And I almost feel guilty because I feel like, shoot, I haven't been talking to them. They're sitting there waiting. And I feel like I've been ignoring them. Right. And now I'm like, okay, girls, we're in the car. Talk to your angels. We got to have our talk to our angels. But I want you to, because your story is so fascinating. And where it's kind of in your 20s when you had that experience with when you saw the angel. I want you to kind of go back there where this kind of began, because you're probably close to my age. I'm 52. Are you in your 40s?
I'm going to be 50 in February.
Okay, so yeah,
Yes.
pretty close.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so when you think of your 20s and this happened and you're now 50, that's a long journey to get to where you are today and to what you've experienced on the path of finding about angels and, learning about them and discovering them. And I feel behind when I learn your story. So catch us up on how you got to today.
Oh, well, first of all, there's no such thing as being behind because we're all on our own unique path through life. And I know that you know this.
Right.
So, and I love what you said about, oh, I just have to speak to them because if we don't speak to them, they don't do anything because we have free will. But as soon as we ask, as soon as I ask, I instantly feel the energy. I feel the presence. It's almost like I have this whole clarity of mind that happens. I start really tuning in and it's only a question. It's just like, hi, are you there? Can you help me? It's like, are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. If you ever
Oh,
remember
I
that book.
love that book.
But it's
That's
like, are
funny.
you there, angels? Are you there? And of course they're there. And it's like, guide me today. I need your help. And right away, it's like, the more you do it, the more you can tune in, the more you feel it. And I just love the fact that you're also another person right now that I'm meeting, which of course we met for a reason, that we see the beauty, we can feel the magic in our daily lives because we so need that right now. It's such a wonderful thing to be able to tune into. So, yes, my experience back in my 20s, my late 20s, when I was going through some like really hard stuff, like really quite a lot of darkness, where I really had to retune my mind and rewire my brain to like really look at the positive and really appreciate all the things that were happening to me at the time and seeing the silver linings. And that's a lot of what I do now with my clients as well. And I really was on this path, and I was actually living in New York at the time, but I came back to Scotland because I had to have surgery because I found out I had ovarian cancer. And when I was back in Scotland, I had this part-time job that was happening. I was living in this castle in Loch Lomond, and it was my job was to open the big wooden doors with the big key. It's like something out of Harry Potter, and it felt like that too.
Huh.
And I was the first person up in the whole place, in the whole castle. There was travelers from all over the world that would come and stay there. And I unlocked the door. I walked past the dining room, and I said hi to the lady sitting at the other end of the gigantic dining room, sitting at the big bay window. And I was like, hi. And I walked straight into the kitchen and I stopped in my tracks. And I thought, oh my God, who was that? Like, how did she get in here? And I
Ah,
remember her even now. I can see her in my mind. It's like she had long white hair. She had like, she kind of reminded me to look at of like the old lady from the Titanic movie, except
oh,
she had
right.
really, really long hair. She had long white hair. She was wearing a white nightie, like a night dress, and just sitting there peacefully looking out the window. And she kind of said good morning to me. She said hi. But when I stopped my tracks in the kitchen, I went right back into the dining room and she wasn't there. She'd gone. So I saw her and I went over to the bay window and I sat there and I just started talking to her, and I could feel this intense heat all the way down the right side of my body, which is now a big sign for me that my angels are close. And I was asking her questions and I was asking her, what do you need from me? Are you okay? Why are you here? So we had this big long conversation and I had my back to the door. And when I turned round, and because I heard something, and I saw this big, big door that was heavy. I saw the handle, the door handle go down, and the door opened, and then she must have just slipped out because the door closed behind her. And that was my first experience of really seeing an angel and talking to one. And it set me on this path because I really felt so excited about it. I was like, what? It didn't even scare me. I just felt super excited and thought, what was that? And what just happened? And who was she? And, what is this? What is this dimension that I just connected with? So
Huh.
it was really fun
But
and really interesting.
I think, people would think it's a ghost and get scared, but you just knew that it was something on that angelic, you felt peaceful. Is
Mm.
that why? I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
just
felt
felt,
like my nature since I was a little girl of like 2.5 years old has always been to make friends with people and to cheer people up and to connect. And this is how exactly how I felt. I felt like I'd just made a friend and she was lost and I was there to talk to her. And it just felt like a really beautiful exchange. And yeah, there were many stories that the castle was haunted. And I later found out that there was a ghost there called Veronica, which was not this person. And that's a whole other story. There were lots of things that happened there as well, where I was being left messages in the gardens and stuff like that, made out of stones. But I
huh,
think that's because of where I was at in my life. I was in a dark place and feeling worried about things. And it was like they were showing up to just like tell me, you're okay, you're on the right path, you've got things to learn. There's my wee doggy barking. There's so much more going on than you think there is, and it's all happening
right.
for a reason. So,
Yes.
yeah.
When you're in your 20s and now you're had that experience, when you think of like and the next moment where you say, I want to start really talking to my angels and really diving deep into the spiritual, you know, world, do you go
Yes.
to that, or how do you get to this where you are now? Like the transformation from that moment, I feel like that was like the light bulb went like, whoa, there is truth to this.
Yes.
I can connect.
Yes, I feel actually that I had always been connected. I felt like there were angels around me when I was a child, but I didn't know how to articulate that. And so when it happened, it kind of wasn't surprising. But I think from that moment on, I just started feeling I was all set to become an actor. I was in New York. I was studying to be an actor there. And the night before I went in to have my operation for ovarian cancer, I saw this documentary on TV, and it was all about this lady who had cancer, and she was wanted to do something good for the community, and she cycled the length and breadth of the UK from John O'Groats to Land's End, and her whole being was so optimistic and upbeat and happy go lucky, even though she knew she had cancer and she had like a limited time to live,
Hmm.
really inspired me. And I felt like here I was, this very inconvenient thing, this like roadblock that had happened in the middle of my soon to be great acting career. And I was lying in bed the night before and I'd watched this documentary and I thought, do you know what? I don't think I'm supposed to be an actor. I think I'm supposed to be helping people like this woman. And
Ah,
again, no coincidence. I really felt like I was obviously supposed to see that documentary. And the next day after I woke up from my surgery, which went well, I decided, you know what, I'm going to go down the coaching path. I'm going to become a coach. I'm going to be doing transformational empowerment coaching, and I want to help as many people as possible. And I feel like it was such a huge thing for me to even come to terms with and to realize that that was what I now wanted to do. But it was like
Hmm.
an instant thing, and it was a lifelong dream to be an actor. But I knew in that moment, the next day, that that wasn't what I was meant to be doing with my life. And
Huh.
so that's what I ended up, that's what brought me into coaching. And then, gosh, fast forward to now, this is like, I'm talking about like in 2000 or something. Now we're like 20 years later. And during the pandemic, I was meditating and I kept getting messages. You need to combine your coaching with spirituality, and you need to really include the angelic realm, include us help you help other people. And so that's kind of what I've been doing that for people all over the world. And it's been amazing.
But you'd had that one that time where you were giving free readings or something, and you just wanted to test it out to see if it would work, and you got so many people wanting readings from you.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. It was probably around April or May 2020. So we'd just been told about COVID, and I'd quit my high-powered VP of New Business Development job in the video game industry. That's what I had been doing for 5 years here in America. That's what got me into the country and for my green card. And I was really burnt out because, yeah, then I just found out that I'd been diagnosed with something else, which was MS. So I
Oh,
just keep
wow.
having these big things that were coming my way, and it's like, really, like, what's the lesson now? And so I just decided I really want to be of service. I want to do something while I'm in lockdown, and I really want to do something that can help people. So I thought, what if I just put a post on Facebook and say, a free angel readings, and if you want to try it out, then let me know. And I really, that moment just before you hit post and you're like, oh my goodness, should I do this? And I hit post, and the post went out. And literally, I had hundreds of people getting in touch from all over the world, like men and women and everyone in between, and completely, totally wanting to try this out with me. And all I asked for in return was a testimonial if they enjoyed it or if it helped them. And all these reviews started coming in that were very humbling. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is so exciting. And I don't even feel like it's me. I feel like I'm the channel,
Uh-huh.
and I'm listening to their questions and I'm telling them what comes up. And it's just been such a beautiful experience and a lovely journey, I think, for everyone involved.
Wow. Well, I was reading your testimonials. I'm like, geez, there's so many. I thought, wow, these people, you've changed their lives. And I want to talk about the way you view angels, and when they've started like talking, like I said, talking to your guardian angel. Explain the guardian angel. You're born with a guardian angel, and the angel never leaves you. But will you
Yes.
explain that? Because I know my listeners, you're all listening because this is where we're at in our life right now. We are so into this. So
Yes.
explain that on your way, because it's just when you understand that they are there for you, and to have that as we say our prayers every day, and, but how often do you say really direct, talk to your angels, right?
Well, for me, I do it every single day. I've learned to do it every single day because as soon as my ego takes over and my head gets in the way, because I can really get in my own way, as soon as I do that, then it's kind of all over and I can go to that place of worry or anxiety. But I'm really very aware of every single morning. I do my 20-minute meditation, I do TM, so I've got a mantra, and then I do my prayers. And in these prayers, I'm also reciting a little piece of A Course in Miracles, which is I talk to the angels and I'll say to my guardian angel, where will you have me go? What will you have me do? What will you have me say and to who? And who will you have me be today? Please guide me. And that's what I say every single day. And I feel this instant, like it's just like this, like, this energy just settling down. And I've done lots of meditations where I've met my guardian angel, and I share that with my clients as well. And so I see it's a she for me, and it can just be an it for other people. It can be like asexual, or it can just be, it doesn't really matter what it is. It's just for you personally to feel what it is. But for me, it's like I can see her in my mind's eye and I can hear her voice, And when I hear my angel speaking to me, it does sound like my voice, but it's a very different tone. And it doesn't sound like the way I sound to you right now. It's a very smooth, like almost like if you're watching a Disney movie and you heard this like voice coming from somewhere else, you know, it's that kind of feeling, like a very grounded, very been there, seen it, done it,
Hmm.
absolutely no unwavering, like no doubt about anything that she says. And I have really learned to tune into that voice when I need it. And it can
Oh,
be simple, like it can be for simple earthly things, human things like I've lost my iPhone,
oh,
or
funny.
or I can't find my doggy's ball, or where did I put this, or how can I feel more grounded in this moment, or just please help me feel like I can be of more service to more people. So whatever it is that I ask, I always get this guidance, which is not coming from my mind trying to figure it out. It's coming through me, and then I follow it. And if I follow it, then I find where I'm meant to be.
Oh,
And that can even be like, I've written about this because I've written lots of articles about this. But when I was back in Scotland in 2018, waiting for my green card, I went to, my uncle passed away, and I went to the big, what's the word? What's another word for graveyard?
cemetery.
Thank you. I think graveyard sounds so like different from
Yes, like,
cemetery. Right. So I went to this giant cemetery with thousands of stones there, and I knew that my grandma and my grandpa were in there. And I'd been walking around for literally about 15 minutes trying to find her. And I just wanted to say hi and bye and check in before I left because I knew that I was probably not going to be in Scotland for a while. And so I was walking around trying to find it. My mind, I know where I'm going, but I don't know where I'm going. And then I just stopped and I said, Angels, please, can you just help me find my grandma? I don't know where she is. And this voice instantly started talking to me like, walk forward, take 3 steps, stop, turn left. And I even started arguing with it and saying, no, it's this way. And then I was like, okay, Maddie, seriously, like just follow this voice because you've been lost for ages right now. So keep
huh.
going, turn left, stop, take 3 steps. It was very specific. And then it said, and look down. And I looked down and I was standing right beside my grandma and my grandpa's gravestones, which were right beside each other. And I just
Wow.
looked up at the sky and I was like laughing and I was like, oh my gosh, B, her name was B, like Beatrice. And I said, B, oh my goodness, this is so cool. I found you. I'm so glad. So that was nothing to do with me because I'd been lost for 15 minutes before trying to find them.
Huh.
So that was instructions that came through me. And I
Do
felt,
you call your guardian angel a name?
yes, but I don't share it. It's
Oh,
very,
okay.
very personal. I do. I have a name. She has a name.
And you talk to her that way.
Yeah, yes, I do. And
Huh.
I see her face and I just feel, I think by sharing the name, it kind of, even though I'm one of these people that really loves to share everything, I
Right?
feel like it's just that very sacred, very delicate connection that I have with this being.
Yes, I
And I
get
just
that.
kind of, it's like I'm the only person in the world that knows the name. And everyone has their own guardian angel that, as you said at the beginning, has been with them since the moment they were born and will stay with them until they pass over. And it's up to us whether we want to use that or not. But even if you don't believe in it, it's still there for you. And as soon as you ask it for help, it will jump to attention and be so excited to help you.
Oh, the I guess I'm like blown away because I need to so when you're before we are born, when we're in this other, what do you call that? Heaven? What do you call?
I think I just when we're like just a soul that's like that's made that decision that they want to come to Earth, that's
Yes.
not actually a human being yet.
Right. So you have your guardian angel right there with you saying, okay, here, this is your plan. Like they have your blueprint.
I mean, I'm not an absolute expert in the whole like knowing the absolute intricate details. I can only speak from my
But what do you, yeah, tell
from
me
my
what
own
you,
experience.
yes,
Yeah.
from what
I
you
think
feel.
from my own experience, I think it's right. Let's do this journey together. We're going into this. You've chosen this family. This family is going to help you. You've got lessons to learn in life, and they're the best ones that are going to show you how to navigate your way through this life. And I personally feel that we come to Earth to really learn to love ourselves and then to love other people. and we kind of come here to drop off our baggage because we're getting ready for ascension and to go to a higher place. But we have to come to earth first. It's like this is the do not pass go, do not collect 200, you know?
Yes.
So it's for me, yes, it's like there is this blueprint and you come through and you end up in this physical body. And that's why when so many of us, myself included, have maybe complained in the past or even in the present about what our parents did or didn't do or how we were treated as kids or what our upbringing, we chose that. That was part of
Right.
our life plan, our life lesson, because your guardian angel loves you unconditionally. And if you believe in God, I'm not religious, but if you, whatever you believe in, loves you unconditionally. But we give ourselves such a hard time. And some of us have come from more difficult backgrounds than others. And it's really up to us to just know that we're because we're here, because there's only one of you in the whole world, that makes you special and unique, and you're loved unconditionally by your guardian angel. And if that's the case, then you can learn to love yourself unconditionally and just try and work through the programming that you started out in life with.
Right. I always, talk about limiting beliefs and, getting through that. And I'm at my age, I'm in a class called Ascension Experience. So we're ascending, and it's made a big impact in my life. And, I think even having this podcast and meeting people like you and learning all the, and, it doesn't, I'm always been someone that seeks and learns and always at the, podcast and the bookstore. But when you have a podcast and you have guests, it's like so fun to learn. And I just learning about you and, seeing where my life goes and seeing this is in the 80s episodes. I don't know what episode, but it's in the 80s. So, it's been a different, interesting, like journey looking back at where I was and my growth, even as
Hmm.
learning about these people and where I'm at now with you sitting here today. It's like, this is where I am in my growth. You're here for a reason. I'm opening my eyes to these angels. I had another guest on a few weeks ago, and she was telling me about the archangels, and that opened my eyes. So now I'm teaching the girls about the kids like that. We talk about archangels and understanding them. But when you have this relationship with your guardian angel, and you have that awareness now as a human, and you know that you're unconditionally loved by her or it or he or whatever. um and I understand we are here, and it's all love. There's
Mm.
nothing but love. And once you realize that, it's like that's where the magic is. Right.
Absolutely. I think as humans, we're so programmed to see love as a thing, as a commodity, as something that if I give you this, then you'll give me that. Or if I show up this way, then I'll be loved. And the unconditional love piece is about the light that you are inside all the time, that is never ending, that the love that we search for outside of ourselves, even in our partners and our romantic mates, they can't give us the love that we're looking for because the love that we're looking for is inside of us. And
Right.
that's why I teach people to really come back to yourself, come back home. And if that is using meditation or affirmations or reading, whatever it takes for you to find your way back home to you, with this unconditional well of love that you can always rely on, that you don't need to get from someone else. It's there all the time. It's like fish in water. I heard this analogy through Krishna Das. He's a kirtan singer that I absolutely love.
Oh, neat.
And he talked about the story about how there's two fish swimming in water, and one of the other fish says something like, where can I find the water? I need more water. And it's like the two fish are in the water, like that's where they live. And that's the same for humans. It's like we're swimming in this love, like these fish are swimming in water. It's all around us all the time. It's how we breathe, it's how we live. And yet so many of us are looking for it somewhere else, but we're in it. It's around us, and we're
Yes.
that's how we exist.
I love that.
It's just a very, I think it's a very, it's kind of like an abstract way of looking at life. The way, in my experience, so many things that we have all these ideas of how life is, and we don't believe in the things that we don't see. But I, for so long now, have been really tuned into see it and then you'll believe it. Like see it first rather than,
Believe it. Yeah.
believe it
Believe
first
it.
and then
Yes.
you'll see it rather
Right.
than see it before you believe it. Believe it and then you'll see it.
Right.
So
I love that Wayne Dyer book. Remember, believe it, and then you'll see it.
Oh, God, I haven't read that one.
Oh, I remember that when I was in high school. But, when I think of believing something, and really believing it, like I am now, right now, on this journey of mine through these archangels, my guardian angel named my guardian angel, my girls named theirs, my clients, my kids named theirs this weekend. Like learning to know that they're there, right there. It's like understanding time. Like we have this linear view of time, and humans just can't perceive that. Like we were just talking about my other interview with Bruce Goldberg, how he
Yes.
teleports, and you're trying to wrap your brain around these angels. And so, gosh, it just makes you feel like we are ascending. Like this is just such a true sign of we're all growing, and I'm attracting all these people to me that are all wanting this message of these angels and the understanding their guides. But will you explain to me your like, do you include your archangels? That we have one guardian angel that is completely ours, and
Hmm.
then there's the other ones. Can you call in like someone to heal you from your cancer?
Yeah, there's angels for everything. There's millions of angels. There's unemployed angels. There are angels for every single thing and all the archangels. And I think again, some people will close their eyes and meditate and an angel will come to them and they might not have even thought of angels before, but they'll say, Archangel Michael came to me, or maybe Archangel, whoever it is, Raphael, or what, they'll name something, but they don't actually know about them. So that's also another proof. Like if you are someone listening to this podcast and you've had this connection where a name has popped into your mind, or you feel like you've seen an angel even in your mind's eye or in reality, then that angel has come to you for a reason. But there are angels for everything. And when I'm doing my angel readings, I actually call in the person's healing team and all the unemployed angels that really want to help and serve, and all the ascended masters and the archangels. There's so much help out there for us humans, and so many people don't either use it or don't know to use it. But it's so funny because as you were talking just now, I just feel like this heat is like completely going around the side of my face, and I
Mhm.
feel like I don't know if you ever get this, but I feel like I'm talking to you right now, but I feel like I'm up here and there's like words coming out my mouth, but I'm kind of channeling whatever it is that's coming out my mouth at the moment because it's
Wow.
whenever we talk about the angels, it kind of takes you into that zone, into that realm. And suddenly you lose all concept of time and space. Like I don't even like I know it's the 20th of October right now because like I'm looking at my computer, but other than that, I don't feel like I'm in any specific day or time or year right now talking to you. I'm just here talking to another soul, another kindred spirit,
Hmm.
and these words are coming through me that I'm talking to you, and it's just a really different way of living life, which to me feels quite normal and probably does to you too. I don't know. Do you understand what I'm saying right
I
now?
do understand what you're saying. And I had just got tears again. And I had tears the other day on an interview when I know that's a confirmation of when you were talking to me. And I know that. And I do channel, and I know we all do. And I think having that awareness that, gosh, when you, like at the beginning of a podcast interview with you, and I ask all the angels, I write a letter to God, all my guardian angel, or my guardian angel, now that I understand that, the archangels, and my dad who passed away. I always make that. I've never missed an episode without a letter. And so
Hmm.
I feel their presence, and I feel that feeling. And when we talk, and I know that I listened to this episode when it comes out in a few weeks, and I like, we talked about that, like I don't even remember talking about that, so
Yes.
yeah, I love that.
The thing I love about being in the angelic realm is that it automatically makes you so present that when I'm doing these readings for my clients as well, like I don't remember anything afterwards. I take recordings so I can send it to them, but I don't remember anything. It's just these things that come through that then resonate so deeply. It might be a word or a phrase that I have no idea that they were just talking about that yesterday with their friend, or they just saw a picture of that very thing like last week, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it! I just saw a green dragon," or "Oh my goodness, I can't believe you're using the word alpha. I never used that word, and I used it yesterday." So there's just wee signs like that happen all the time, and there's most of the time I don't really remember. I'm just kind of being really present, and then
Hmm.
these things. Now, the ego with the ego me, the human Maddie, is not like that. I can get very a bit scatty. I can, you know, I have to really pay attention and slow myself down and listen to my body. And I think that's probably another reason why I feel like I've had the angels around me my whole life, because I've traveled all over the world and I've definitely been in situations that would really, it's amazing that I'm still here. Let's put it that way, you know?
Huh, yes. I
Just,
look back at moments too when I think of how protected we are. And people
mm,
don't acknowledge that that is our guardian angel or the angels that are there to help.
yes.
What do you do when you see the numbers on the clock? Because we're all into that.
I just get super excited. The first thing I do is I post it in my Facebook group and I
Yes.
say, because I see 11s all the time, like literally every time. I've never worn a watch ever. Like my whole life, I've never worn a watch.
Huh.
And I think I got a watch as a present one year when I was maybe about 7 years old. And I didn't like the feel of it around my wrist. And I never wore a watch and I still don't wear a watch. So every so often I'll look at the clock, I'll look at my phone, my iPhone, and I'll see the time. And every time I look at my phone, it's 11 minutes past. And now I just laugh to myself because I think it's just so funny. But I love seeing numbers, and I used to like look it up or Google it and say, what does 222 mean? Or what does 444 mean? Or, all of these like recurring numbers. And I've never been a numbers person. I've been always been more of a letters person than words. I love words and I love the language, the English language. But numbers, I get super excited about seeing numbers. And, if the apartment I lived in California, before I moved to Austin, was number 11. And I just
Oh,
remember thinking, oh my goodness, this is so, it just feels like a friend. If these
yes,
numbers to me feel like friends. And when they,
totally.
and when they show up, it's like they're saying, hi, we're here. We just want to remind you that we're here.
Yes. Oh,
So,
for sure. We do that too. We get to hotel and we add up the numbers and or I mean, it's always the clock, and we're really into that right now. But I want to before because I we have a few, I mean, like 20 minutes left. But I wanted to get our angel reading. I want you to
ooh,
explain to people what you do with your clients, and I know everyone's going to love this, and you'll be just like you were when you put the free the free angel readings out. You're going to have people calling you after listening to you do this.
oh my goodness. Well, that is wonderful for a start. I absolutely love doing these. And I would definitely say, go to maddiesparkles.com and read the reviews because they're incredible and you can't make that stuff up. Um, and I feel like every time I do an angel reading, I ask the person, what is it you want to discuss? What is it you need help with right now? That's always my first question. What do you need help with right now? Where do you need guidance? Most people do say a thing. They'll say a specific thing, whether it's their relationship or whether it's their finances and their mentality on abundance, or maybe it's a lot of the time it's what's my next step, what am I here to do in the world, like what's my purpose. It can be anything about anything, and some people say, I'm just curious to hear what I need to hear right now, like what do they want to tell me. So I've had a few of these as well, and even when someone tells me nothing, it's amazing what happens. It's quite incredible, like the things that start coming up. And then they'll be like, oh, yeah, well, actually, I was talking to my husband about that last night, and this is exactly what I needed to hear. But I didn't know that there was anything about the husband before when we started because they
Oh,
didn't
funny.
mention it.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it's really lovely. I started with 2 decks at the beginning of 2020,
Hmm.
and now I have 43.
Oh my gosh.
So when I'm doing readings for people, I'm guided towards which decks to use, and I tend to stick always with there's an angel deck called Healing with Angels, and I always use that one, and I always use the goddesses and the dragons, and
Hmm.
then the rest of them it just depends on what feels like intuitively, what feels like they need to
Wow.
hear. Yeah.
Huh. 43.
Yes, I know. I love them. I really want to design my own deck at
Yeah,
some
that's what I was
point.
going to ask you. I think that
Yeah.
would be fun. You would love that.
Oh, I would. It would be great. I've got so much going on, but I think it's something that will happen at some point. So, um, if you want to just take a breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, and I'm not going to ask you for this broadcast, like, for this podcast, what your question is, but you can maybe have a question inside if you want to
Okay.
ask what it is that you need to know or something that you've been thinking about. Is that what you want, how you want to do it, or would you like to voice
I
out
was
loud?
just, I think I was going to ask you, what did they want to tell me?
Okay,
That would
perfect.
have been my question.
Okay, so let's do one because we don't have a lot of time. We can talk about the present right now, like not look at the past or I can do that as well. But if you want, I can just do a present one at the moment. So
Okay.
breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, and let me know when to stop my hand.
Stop.
Okay. And so the message that's come up for you right now today is the beautiful angel of emerging, emerging. And I love this angel because see how innocent she looks and she's kind of looking for approval, looking for validation. And
Right.
it's like this young, maybe the young girl inside of you, which is maybe even why you're so committed to helping children, that maybe the things that you went through as a child or not knowing or not being sure of yourself. But this is like your time. This is your time to emerge, to really know your radiance, to know your uniqueness, to know that really it's safe for you to express your true words, your truth. And there might have been times in your life when you felt like you had to hide your truth, but this is now telling you that you are
Yeah.
here in the world at this time, you're emerging or you have emerged, and it's really about letting everyone else see your radiance and knowing that you're okay to speak your truth and that other people will receive it and receive it with an open heart. And if there are any conversations that you need to have that are difficult, then you can always ask the angels, please let my words land well on this person so that they understand where I'm coming from and that they have an open heart to receive my message. But I absolutely love this angel, this emerging angel, because you can tell she just looks so sweet and so she looks a little bit lost and unsure of herself. And maybe
Hmm.
that's where you were once upon a time, but you've blossomed into this incredible woman, this incredible thought leader who's helping so many people around the world. And this is how far you've come. And I love that she's got these flowers in the forefront of the picture. She's like holding on to herself like this. So there's a part of her that really doesn't want to let herself go. There's a loyalty to herself, but
Right.
she's just looking for validation. And that is something that I think you've probably learned over the years. I don't need validation. I can be me. There's only one of me and I can be who I fully am. And maybe that's what led you to this podcast. I don't know. But does
Yeah.
that resonate with you?
Oh, 100%, Maddie. Oh my gosh, it gave me tears again.
I just got goosebumps.
Gosh,
Oh,
yeah, that's amazing.
I love that. Well, let me see. I'm going to choose another one as well.
Oh, good.
And this one, there's a couple, I could go on for ages with this stuff, but maybe there's a question that you have about something that you would like to know the answer to. And the angels, this deck, the angels will give you an answer. They'll either give you a phrase or they'll give you a word or they'll give you a timeline. So maybe there's something that you just have been thinking about recently that you would just love to know the answer to. And the listeners as well, as you're listening in, because there's a collective conscious, and if you do the same, if you're thinking of something right now and asking a question, even though I'm pulling this card for you, it may well be like, and it probably will answer them too.
Right.
So I love this.
You
I
want me to
love this
ask
deck.
you a question?
You can either ask me out loud or you can think it to yourself,
It's
whatever
so
you think.
funny as I always think for my children. So I go to that. Can I help my daughters? Can I, I have that. I have to, it's hard for me as a mother to go
Yes.
into, me.
Yes.
So that's where I just realized that because I go to them.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that you just said that about your daughters because that is exactly where that angel of emerging is like that's almost like what you were. That's who you were and who you still are inside. And that's why you've got this incredible connection with children because you know how it feels to feel like you're not sure of yourself and you need to look up to someone that you think has all the answers. But really, we have all the answers inside. It just
Right.
takes life and experience and discernment to know that we know that, you know?
Yes.
So, yes, I'm just, let's see, this is great. So I think that if you have a question, if you want to ask a question, or if
It
you
would
want to just
probably
think
be
about,
about my, my this new, the podcast created these classes and I'm, trying to make an impact on children and parents. Maybe where is that going? Where is that taking me?
okay. So just take a breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, and let me know when.
When?
Okay. So where is that taking me? Well, they're just giving you a big yes with an exclamation point. They're saying, yes, you are absolutely
Oh,
on the right path. This is where you want to be. This is what you want to be doing. And everything that you're doing is absolutely in alignment with what you're feeling. So I love this. It's like trust your intuition. And they're saying to you, bravo, the decision that you've made is the right one. Whatever you're doing right now is the right thing for you. And there's no need to continue to sort through additional options because you know what to do and you should move forward with your plans. You've made the correct choice for your personal growth and development. And there are some decisions that can be challenging for you, even in this journey. So, if the task ahead of you is daunting or sometimes makes you feel a bit sad, then they're telling you to proceed with your plans in a way that is life affirming and self loving. And ask your angels to be with you. Again, ask your angels to be with you every step of the way because you don't have to do this on your own. And that's a mistake that we all make. We think that we have to do it all ourselves. So don't hesitate to call upon friends or family for support, and because there is probably many earth angels around you too. So I love this. This is so it's just a real affirmation.
totally. Oh my
And
gosh.
I love that it's come beside this one because this one she's like looking for that affirmation, and this one is sorry, just doing this thing.
Yes.
And this one she's saying
Yes.
yes. Can you see
Yes.
that?
Yes. I love it. Oh my gosh,
I
Maddie.
love that. I love that for you. It's so wonderful.
Oh
Oh
my
my gosh, I
gosh.
could keep going. I could go on and on for ages.
I know I can see it. It's like addicting.
I know
But
it's so amazing.
when you I forget what I was going to ask you, but I wanted you to talk about the prayer that you were going to read.
Oh, yeah. So I have this prayer, this book that I also read from for every angel reading that I do. And it's called 365 Days of Angel Prayers. It's not my book, but it was given to me as a gift. And I absolutely love it. And I always give, like, I usually actually open the book at a certain random page. And I'll read one or two of these blessings for people at the end of every reading that I do. And they're always, again, completely spot on for what that person needs to hear. And I also use them at the beginning of every Facebook Live that I do. So it's just a lovely way to set the tone and to create that really lovely energy for everyone. So this one is, I'm just going to read this for, yeah, I'll just read this for you and the listeners right now. And this is called Angel Prayer for Guidance. Dear angels, help me hear heavenly guidance as I travel through this life. Guide me to be open and willing to receive the message Spirit sends. When I am uncertain or lost, empower me to understand the guidance I receive in signs and messages. Help me think clearly and rationally when I need to make a decision. Please make your messages clear and easy to understand. As you know, my earthly energy vibrates at a lower level than your angelic energy. Help me quickly and easily connect with you so I may always be blessed with your guidance and love. Amen, amen, amen. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, that's beautiful. Is exactly what we all needed to hear right now. When you
Mm.
talk about earth angels and when you talk about um people around you that are earth angels, I've been told I was an earth angel one time from somebody. What does that mean?
Well, I think that like humans are humans and they can't really be angels per se, but earth angels, I think, are that's my term for this feeling of I know that I'm bigger than my body. I know that I'm bigger than my human body and that my soul houses my body. And sometimes, like I said earlier, where I feel like there's a voice coming through me, sometimes I feel like I'm being guided to somewhere or to someone that in my mind it doesn't make sense or I don't want to do it that day or it doesn't feel right. But I just have to get out of my own way. And when I follow that, I know that I'm supposed to be there for that person at that time. And so you can, I guess I could call myself an earth angel at that moment. Or someone will say to you, oh my God, you're such an earth angel, as a phrase of like someone that you're just like, you've really been put on my path. And I think that the angels use us and even the universe uses us to put us directly on people's paths to help them without us even knowing why or what the whole
Yes.
reason is. And I think that's probably more what I would see an earth angel as, like where,
Okay.
yeah, you're a human being, but there's something that person's had a whispering, or you've had a whisper to be somewhere, or go somewhere or help someone, and you don't ask why, you just do it because you know that you feel this
Right.
urge.
Oh, that is so great. And so when we decide to leave this body, and we are up in the with our guardian angel and all the other angels, do we decide if we want to stay as an angel, or do we always want to come back and be in a body to learn more?
That's an amazing question that I personally do not know the answer to. But what would I want to do? I feel like we are, again, we're on earth to learn and to grow and to expand. And I guess, when you're looking at karma and you're looking at certain um, uh, ways of looking at life, there are people that will come back. You'll come back into another body, and I've thought about it before, and I've had some past life regression readings before where I have been here before many times.
Mm-hmm.
And during these times, I've met my mother, who's my earth present mother now, but we were in a completely different scenario back then in the 1800s. And there's lots and lots of different ways of having a past life experience, which can often look like deja vu, or you recognize someone that you've never met before, but you just feel this incredible connection with them. But I think there's part of me that just really knows that the soul never dies. And even when you leave this body, this human body, it's the body that dies, and that just, we leave it and our soul goes up. And that's why when someone passes away, their energy is still around you. The soul never dies. So, do I want to come back into another body, another human body after this lifetime? I don't know. I don't know if I do. I feel like I've been here so many times, and I'm finally in my heading towards 50. I feel like I'm finally in this lifetime doing what I'm here to do, what I'm meant to be doing. I feel really content with that. And who knows? I don't, right now, in my own mind, I feel like I'm quite content not having to come back again. But who knows? We'll see.
Right. I know. It's just, I get tears again. Like
What
something,
about
I
what
got
about you? How do you feel about that?
yeah, I feel that yes, when we leave here and we're in spirit, in soul form, that we kind of decide. I know I've been, that it's so amazing in that feeling, but you still like the contrast, so you still choose to learn more and you still want to expand more. But then I feel like sometimes, you've expanded enough to where you're ready to stay and maybe be an angel. But that was what I was going to ask you, is like, what do you feel like? Do you feel like even your guardian angel that you know and you've seen before, has she been in a body before? Do you feel like, or has she always been an angel?
I feel like she's probably always been an angel. And I think there is something about angels have not been human. I think angels are angels and they're not human. But again, it's something that I guess you can even look up and check it out. I have my own personal experience with my angel and with angels in general and how I connect with them. But I just have this feeling that humans, like angels, are not human. I think the whole concept of earth angels is maybe something that we have spoken about, and it's how the angels use humans to put them in the right place for other people. But I don't think angels are humans, or maybe have been, or are meant to be.
Right.
And that's my thinking about it.
Yeah, I can see that. That helps me too, because I think, I picture, our life and, 50 years old and, what, halfway through, it's just so how fast time goes when we're sitting here and I'm talking to you, I am in the place of my life. Like you say that you are, that's what gave
Yes,
me tears. And I thought, I know
yes,
you are, but I
yes.
see it in you and I see it in me. And it's just an amazing feeling to have that, just being in this place of, you look back at your life and, it's just like this little journey to, get to here, like,
And
wow.
Ashley, do you know what the most amazing thing is? That you have a podcast that we are able to have this conversation and share it with public, share it with the world.
I
That
know.
this is so needed right now, and that there is such a shift. I think COVID as well has really brought people to their knees and made them look at themselves, look at other people with compassion. Yes, there is anger. Yes, there is frustration. Yes, there has been heartache and a lot of death. But at the same time, I feel like there's this huge revolution that's been happening in the world that we've been waiting for, to where Jan van Zandt once said this in her book, where where things have to fall apart for them to fall into place.
Yes.
And I love that feeling because I feel like that's what's happening. It's like even when there's a big earthquake or a big thunderstorm or a big devastating tragedy, I feel like it's the universe shouting down to all of us to say, come on, look after yourselves and look after the planet. Like, look, just protect each other. This is like, what you doing?
Right.
Humans, what you doing?
Exactly. I know. Even in COVID, we're wrapping it up, but but even in COVID, I knew during that time, because I always believe in everything's working for you, so I
Yeah.
knew this is perfect. This is whatever this is for, it's for me and for the world, and we were all affected. But to be in that and have that peace and know, like, this is perfect. Like, where are we going? Like, this is amazing.
Mm,
We have to be going somewhere different. It
yes,
had to change.
I
But
love
anyway, I
it.
love talking to you and I love this time. And I'm so grateful for meeting you and having that special hour together. That you're right. We just to have a podcast to spend an hour with you, and you're in Austin and I'm in San Diego, and I probably would have never met you. You're just
Isn't that
beautiful.
amazing? Oh,
Yes.
it's so amazing. I honestly feel like I could just keep talking to you all day long and and not get bored because we're totally in the zone and it is so wonderful. And I really hope that the listeners can feel the energy that I'm feeling right now and really get a sense of what is possible when you connect with your angels and really, if you've never done it before, just ask your guardian angel for that guidance or for that help. And if you want to do some research for yourself, then do that if you feel drawn to do that, because everyone's experience is different. And again, your guardian angel may not be showing up in any specific binary or gender. It's just how it shows up for you. And yeah, if you want to connect with me, then please go to Maddie Sparkles with an S at the end, maddiesparkles.com. And I
Yes.
also have a free audio affirmation on there. So if anyone's feeling like they need a wee bit of calm and peace and empowerment, then that would help with that as well.
Oh, so amazing. I listened to that. Oh, Maddie, you're beautiful. Thank you so much. You're an angel.
Thank you. You
I mean, you
too.
talk about angels, and you are an angel. No wonder you feel like you're living your purpose right now.
Oh, well, I'm so blessed and happy that we crossed paths. So thanks for having me. Thanks so much, Ashley.
Yeah, you're so welcome.